She was born into poverty, raised by a single teenage mother, abused, neglected, told she wasn't enough. But Oprah Winfrey didn't let her past define her. She turned pain into purpose and silence into strength. She became the most powerful woman in media, a billionaire, a global leader, and proof that wealth isn't just about money, it's about meaning. Her journey is not just inspirational, it's instructive. Because Oprah didn't win through luck. She built her success, one choice at a time, one mindset shift at a time, one courageous decision at a time. Oprah was born in 1954 in rural Mississippi. Her early life was marked by trauma, extreme poverty, sexual abuse, emotional isolation. She wore dresses made of potato sacks, was shuffled between unstable homes, and by age 14, became pregnant and lost the child shortly after birth. The pain she endured would have broken most people. And for a while, it almost broke her. But somewhere deep inside, she decided this wouldn't be the end of her story. She didn't wait to be rescued. She reached for something higher. She focused on education. She read constantly. She studied hard. She joined speech competitions, pushing herself to find her voice in front of others. And eventually, that voice opened doors. She landed her first job in radio while still in high school. She brought presence, poise, and something else the world hadn't seen yet: authenticity. By her early 20s, she was already a news anchor. But it wasn't until she stepped into her truth, sharing real stories, real feelings, real struggles, that the world began to take notice. She wasn't trying to look perfect. She wasn't trying to sound scripted. She was simply Oprah. And that made her unforgettable. The Oprah Winfrey Show launched nationally in 1986. And for the next 25 years, she became the voice of a generation. Millions tuned in not just for entertainment, but for healing, for honesty, for human connection. But behind the cameras, Oprah was building something even bigger: ownership, control, legacy. She didn't just host a talk show, she owned it. She negotiated rights, demanded equity, and built her own production company, Harpo Studios. Later, she launched her own network, OWN. While others made money from fame, Oprah made wealth from value. She didn't just earn checks, she built systems. She didn't just perform, she produced. Because she understood something most people miss: fame fades, but ownership lasts. So what can we learn from Oprah Winfrey about money, wealth, and lasting success? Here are 3 powerful principles that shaped her financial journey and can shape yours. First, know your worth and ask for it. Oprah has always said, "You don't get what you deserve. You get what you have the courage to ask for." Early in her career, she discovered that she was being paid less than her male counterparts, despite delivering the same or better results. Instead of staying silent, she negotiated. Instead of settling, she created her own table. And when that table didn't exist yet, she built it from scratch, in a world that constantly undervalues women, minorities, and dreamers. Oprah showed that worth is not just what they offer you. It's what you demand from yourself. You don't grow wealth by waiting to be chosen. You grow it by choosing yourself, by stepping up, by speaking out. And if you want to grow your net worth, start by growing your self-worth. Because people will only value you to the extent that you value yourself. Second, turn your pain into power. Oprah didn't hide her past. She didn't bury it under a polished image. She shared it. She used it. She turned her personal wounds into bridges of connection with millions. She gave voice to the voiceless. From survivors of abuse, to single mothers, to people struggling with identity and self-worth, Oprah made them feel seen. And more importantly, she made them feel not alone. That voice became her brand. That vulnerability became her strength. Too often, people try to separate their story from their success. But Oprah did the opposite. She wove them together. She didn't pretend to be perfect. She chose to be real. And in being real, she became relatable. And in being relatable, she became unstoppable. If you're building a business, a brand, or a life, Don't run from your story. Refine it. Tell it. Own it. Because in your greatest pain lies your greatest message. Third, use money as a force for meaning. Yes, Oprah is a billionaire, but she never defines wealth by dollars alone. To her, wealth is a tool, a platform, a spiritual responsibility. She's donated hundreds of millions to education, founded a girls' school in South Africa, funded disaster relief, championed mental health, spoken out on issues of race, justice, and healing. But more than the checks she writes, it's the intention behind them that matters most. She doesn't just ask, "What can I earn?" She asks, "What am I here to give? What is my life meant to do? What is my soul's assignment?" And that's where her real wealth lives. Not in the bank, but in the ripple effects she creates. So how can you apply Oprah's wisdom to your own life? Start here. First, heal what's holding you back. You can't build sustainable wealth on top of unhealed wounds, because money will only magnify what's already there. If you carry shame, fear, guilt, or unworthiness, no amount of income will fix that. No financial plan will override self-sabotage. Oprah did the inner work: therapy, spiritual study, daily reflection. She teaches that healing isn't weakness, it's the foundation of all true power. Second, own what you create. Don't just work for a paycheck. Don't just trade time for money. Build assets. Own your voice. Control your content. Protect your ideas. Whether you're a coach, creator, founder, or freelancer, don't just rent your influence. Own it. Because ownership is the bridge between passion and power. It's the difference between being seen and being sovereign. Third, listen to your inner voice louder than the noise. The world will always have something to say. What's trending? What's safe? What's profitable? But Oprah teaches, don't just listen to the noise, listen inward. She turned down roles that didn't align, invested in projects that felt right, even when they didn't make sense on paper. She even ended her show at the height of its power because her soul said it was time. Success isn't just numbers, it's alignment, it's peace, it's integrity, and nothing external can replace that. Fourth, be generous with your success. Oprah didn't build to escape people. She built so she could reach more people. She poured into others through scholarships, mentorship, visibility, and presence. She didn't just make it to the top. She created staircases for others. If you're growing in any way, ask yourself, who am I bringing with me? Because the highest form of wealth is lifting others as you rise. Fifth, never stop evolving. Oprah didn't stop after the talk show. She became an executive producer, a network owner, a spiritual teacher, a book curator, a global voice for change. She teaches that success isn't a place, it's a process, a becoming, an unfolding. And the moment you stop growing is the moment you start declining. So read more, think deeper, surround yourself with wisdom, stretch into your next level, because there is always more inside you. Oprah's story is not just about fame or fortune, it's about freedom. The freedom to speak your truth, to shape your destiny, to turn your past into power, and your name into legacy. She once said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams." But dreams don't come true by accident. They come true by decision, then discipline, then devotion. So if you're sitting on an idea, a gift, a calling, don't wait for perfect timing. Own your story. Ask for your worth. Heal what's hidden. Give from the heart. And trust the voice inside you. Because success isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the most authentic. And when you live that way, wealth becomes more than a number. It becomes a reflection of who you truly are. If this message moved you, subscribe for more stories that shift your mindset. Share it with someone who needs to remember their power. And know this, your story isn't over. It's just getting started. And like Oprah, you were born to rise.